Hi, Tarnika, and welcome to this interview. It's good to have you here this morning. Tarnika, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hi sir. I'm Tarunika, and I was working as a product manager previously for the past 3 years at a construction company. So now I have decided to do MBA. So because of my experience in the field and because of to gain more knowledge in that domain.
All right. Can you elaborate a little bit about your role?
My role in the company was to take care of the product requirements, labor, and transportation of every government projects we did. We take tenders like contracts from government, and then we do it. My responsibility was maintaining all the uh, product requirements for those government projects.
All right. Interesting. So, was there a particular challenge that you faced in this particular role?
Challenge every time is every project is new. Like every project requires a different approach. So how easily or how efficiently we accommodate with every project shows us our company in a better perspective. So that was a challenge there because we need to deal with different kinds of people and different kind of setups every time. So that was one of the challenges we usually face in the company.
All right. So, you mentioned that there's a lot of diversity in each project. Were there many similarities as well across each of these projects?
Similarity will be I have to talk with vendors and suppliers a lot. So I have to maintain a constant relationship with them. So my while of each project, the communication and the relationship between us increases. That they remind we need loyal vendors and suppliers with us. So that is like constant throughout the project. Even though the requirements are a little different, we know how to approach them and they know that thing will work out between us. So I think that is one of the similarity between many projects. Like we have a constant vendors and suppliers base who will help us with everything. So that was constant.
Interesting. So I just want to break your role down into two particular aspects. One, so every role in the world will have two aspects. One is how you work individually, and second is how you work with people in a team. So, did you have some kind of roles within that position of yours where you had to work individually and contribute?
Individually, I think the way I communicate with my project managers, the way I communicate with vendors, it's all about me there. Like I should show them, like I should carry the picture of my company there. Like my image of the company will be carried by me. I'll be the representative. So that individual part, I have to do it. Like I have to be very conscious. I have to know what I talk that promises I give them. Everything will be individual and everything happening at the back. Like I have to constantly be in touch with the civil contractors and project, who are all involved in the project. So that will be a teamwork. So when we look from team perspective, I mean the project we work, it depends on the whole team. Like we decide everything together. But when I go and communicate with the outside vendors or my clients and everyone, it will be all about me, my individual, how I carry out my company's image to them.
Interesting. All right. And now coming to the second part where you had to interact with others, manage resources. So, what kind of challenges did you face? So, you mentioned that you had to build relationships with your vendors. Did you face any particular challenge? How did you overcome that?
Yeah, because my experience in the field, it comes with experience, like however we talk to them. And because my background was not in civil engineering, so I faced a little drawback in the beginning. But when I know what I'm like, I develop my skills there. I usually go to association meetings, I refer books, and I do some research. So that way, I have to enhance myself that I'm aware about the field, like what I'm doing there. So that improved my ability to talk to vendors and suppliers also. Like I guarantee, like I should know the field perfectly so that I can interact with them efficiently.
So Tarunika, I see you have been doing a great job in your work. Why MBA now?
At some point of time, I realized all my work and everything was contained in a particular domain. Like outside construction, I wanted to explore more because whatever in that domain, I managed to do it, and that increased my interest in every domain, like every management perspective. That made me explore more. So I thought this is the right time for me to do MBA because I can explore other domains also, not only restricted to constructions.
So, what is the specialization you're thinking of in MBA?
I'm planning to choose operations since I have already experience in that domain.
Okay. And why are you interested for 1 year course? Why not 2 years?
Since I was working as a product manager, I know the management aspects already. So with that experience, I think 1 year will be more efficient. I mean, I can understand it much better because I already have a field experience in that. So I decided to do this 1 year.
All right, just to add on to that, but don't you think a 2 year course would have given you more knowledge and more exposure?
In 2 year course, at the end of first year, it will be internship project that plays a major role. Since I that shows where your place is. Like after 1 year, you put that into experience, you learn it. Since I already have that experience, I thought I'll save that time so that I can concentrate on other things. So I chose this 1 year.
Okay. So, Tarunika, just tell me about how you prepared for CAT. How was your preparation? You're working also, right? So, how was it?
Yeah, after before appearing for CAT, I referred online sites. Like I studied only through online. I went through many tests. I mean test papers and everything. I answered them. I saw the advice of some. I saw some sites like iQuanta and everything. So I could get a picture of what the CAT, what the expectations are, and how should I prepare from that. So that gave me a very good picture of overall CAT preparation.
Okay, but I can see here that you have scored less in your quant. Any particular reason for that?
Yeah, my according to quants, I think after the marks, I feel like I should have gone for some advice, like some mentors. With personal mentorship, I think I could have performed better in quants. Like I prepared on my own, so that thing was missing in that. So I found out after my CAT exam.
Okay, so in your application, I can also see a 6 months gap. So what was it about?
Yeah, after my work experience, I thought I'll take a little break before I appear for MBA because I wanted to learn ceramics. Like I love ceramics, so I dedicated my 6 months in learning course in ceramics, which is for 6 months. I enrolled with a national awardee, like ceramicist here. So I went to Chennai for it, and I worked with them for 6 months.
Okay, but do you think it was necessary? Like, will it help you in your future or?
I think everything according to me, it's my perspective between professional and personal. Some personal choices can be made in between. Like I wanted to fit my personal experience also in that. So I wanted to, since I was working for 4 years, I wanted to take a break in between. So after MBA, I don't think whether I can do this. Like I had to do this now.
So why Great Lakes? Why not some other B school?
I had a chance to interact with my alum of Great Lakes, and they had a very good picture. All I wanted was mentors who would support me throughout, even after MBA. So that was there in Great Lakes. I heard alum had a close connection with faculties and professors. Even now, they help them with every real world aspects also. So that thing attracted me about Great Lakes.
All right, and whom did you talk to?
So his name is Anand. He's working at Deloitte. So I had a chance to speak. I contacted him through LinkedIn. So I had his perspective, like what his experience was in college and how his preparation was and everything. So it helped me to prepare myself into. So I knew about Great Lakes earlier.
Okay. So Tarunika, let's talk about some current affairs. Do you read newspapers?
Yes, I do. I do read newspapers regularly.
Okay, so did you read today's editorial section?
Today's editorial I couldn't manage to read because of interview preparation and everything. I plan to read it later, but I know what is happening with the current situation, with the COVID situation and everything. I knew what are the current affairs happening.
Okay, so can you please tell us about your understanding about India and China relationship now, as of now?
India-China now recently there has been a political disturbance. I feel like after their attack on Galwan Valley, and the recent invasion in the border that created tension. Like that broke the 40-year silence we had with regarding the border in every aspect. So that is kind of new to us in this situation. We are also facing this COVID situation very seriously. And with this also, it's been an increased pressure. Like Sino-Chinese relationship is in little disturbance now. And even when we see the good part, many companies and many foreign nationals are trying to invest in India now rather than China. So that's a very good aspect for us. But relating to political aspects, I think there's a little disturbance. Like Cold War has gone to the next level, I think.
Okay, so if you were the Prime Minister of India, how would you solve this?
It's about sometimes, if I'm a Prime Minister, for me, peace is the aspect. Sometimes when people are already in already they're disturbed, there are unemployment and there everything, we cannot afford to take any major risk now. So it should be more of peace talks and using every other opportunity to have a peace between India and China until this COVID situation is resolved at least. Then we can go for some major changes or major decisions in the future.
Okay, Tarunika, it was a nice interview. We will get back to you on this.
Thank you. Thanks.
Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, thank you.